You bought one, right?
A very warm and pleasant good morning to one and all. Respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, eminent speakers, faculty members, researchers, delegates, authors, students, and all the enthusiastic participants joining us through the YouTube platform. A very warm welcome to everyone. It gives me immense pleasure and privilege to be your master of ceremony for the inaugural function of the second international conference on distributed systems, computer networks, and cybersecurity, ICDSCNC 2026. I am Ms. Maria, Assistant Professor, Department of Science and Humanities, Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this prestigious conference. The second international conference on distributed systems, computer networks, and cybersecurity, ICDSC NC 2026, is organized by Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bangalore, and is technically co-sponsored by the IEEE Bangalore section. The conference brings together academicians, researchers, industry professionals, scientists, students, and experts from different parts of the world to exchange knowledge, share innovative ideas, and discuss the latest developments in distributed systems, computer networks, cybersecurity, and related emerging technologies. As we embark on this intellectually enriching journey, let us remember the words education is the most powerful weapon with you can use to change the world. With this thought, let us begin the inaugural ceremony of ICDA CNC 2026. Before we proceed with the formal proceedings, let me briefly introduce the institution hosting this prestigious conference. Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bangalore, is one of the institutions under Sri Raghavendra Educational Institutional Society. Sri Raghavendra Educational Institution Society was founded in the year of 1997 by the visionary Dr. K.M. Venkatramana and has been serving society through his contributions to the fields of education and healthcare. Sri Krishna Institute of Technology is situated at Chimney Hills, Chikabanavara, Bengaluru, in a serene and conducive environment for learning and academic pursuits. The institution is committed to providing quality technical education and creating opportunities for students, faculty members, and researchers to engage in innovation, research, and professional development. It is indeed a matter of pride that Sri Krishna Institute of Technology is hosting the second international conference on distributed systems, computer networks, and cybersecurity, ICDSCNC 2026. Now, it is a mark of our rich tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of an important event and seek divine blessings for the success of endeavors. To commence today's auspicious occasion, I would like to invite Ms. Janavi, 7th semester, Department of CAC, to render the invocation.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलत्सायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुरगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदायादाय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपातण्डदण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीततोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणादृष्टाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि. Thank you.
Now, the time to welcome everyone. A very warm and pleasant morning to everyone gathered here. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you to this conference. On behalf of Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, I am honored to welcome our chief guest, Professor Kim Yong Lee from Liverpool John Moores University, UK. Sir, I request our principal, sir. Sir, I request you to present to him. Okay. Then I welcome Dr. Pavan Idilagi, Senior Systems Engineer, HPE, Bangalore. I welcome you, sir. And I welcome Professor Devendra Gowda, SAT Chair, IEEE, Bangalore. We welcome you, sir, onto the stage. Now I would like to request our principal, sir, to welcome Professor Gyuming Lee with a welcome appreciation. I also request you, sir, to present the token of appreciation to Dr. Pavan Idilagi. Now I request Professor Aruna ma'am to give away the present of appreciation to Devendra Gowda, sir. Yeah, I request Hemlata ma'am to give away this. And also add this, I would like to request Hemlata ma'am to give away this to our principal sir as well. And I would like to invite Divya ma'am onto the stage to deliver the present to Hemlata ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And it is my privilege to extend a warm and respectful welcome to our esteemed founder, president, director, and associate director in their absence here. We are deeply grateful for their gracious presence and constant support. And heartfelt welcome to our respected principal, sir, Dr. Mahesha K., whose commitment to academic excellence, students' development, and institutional growth has been a constant source of inspiration to the entire academic community. And to everybody, guest of honor, distinguished keynote speakers, eminent resource persons, dignitaries, academicians, researchers, faculty members, scholars, and dear students. We are truly privileged to have such accomplished personalities with us today. Your presence is a great source of encouragement and adds immense value to this academic gathering. I also warmly welcome all the participants who have joined us from different institutions. Your enthusiasm and participation will make this conference more vibrant, interactive, and meaningful. Thank you. Now, the time for lighting the lamp. We shall now proceed with the traditional and auspicious lamp lighting ceremony, symbolizing the removal of darkness and the spreading of knowledge and wisdom. The lighting of the lamp is a beautiful tradition that signifies enlightenment, hope, knowledge, and the beginning of a new journey. I request all the dignitaries to present at the venue to kindly join us for the lamp lighting ceremony and symbolically inaugurate the conference. I request everyone to kindly rise for the ceremony. I request any one of you participants come forward to light the lamp. Any participants? Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. A successful conference is the result of vision, commitment, teamwork, and continuous effort. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Hemalata Kale, Dean, Student Welfare, Professor and Head, Department of CSE, Sri Krishna Institute of Technology. Dr. Hemalata Kale has been one of the key contributors to the academic and organizational initiatives associated with this conference. I now request Dr. Hemalata Kale to share a few words about the conference, its objectives, and the journey of ICDSC NC 2026. Ma'am, I request you. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all, respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, HODs of various departments, IQC head, dean academics, R&D head, and esteemed professors and faculty members of Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, and my dear participants. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to welcome you all to the second international conference on distributed systems, computer networks, and cybersecurity, hosted by SKIT Bengaluru, Karnataka. It is indeed a matter of great pride for us to witness the second edition of ICDSCNC. Following the success of the first edition, this conference has continued its journey with great enthusiasm, commitment, and vision. Over the past year, ICTS CNC has grown into a meaningful platform for innovation, academic excellence, knowledge sharing, and collaboration. The response to this edition has been truly overwhelming, and we have received almost 1,600 scholarly submissions from different parts of the world, including China, United States, Sri Lanka, Singapore, South Korea, United Kingdom, Australia, and several other countries. We are also privileged to have valuable contributions from professionals associated with globally recognized organizations such as Cisco Systems, Intel, Walmart, Samsung, Wipro, and QBurst. Following a rigorous peer review process and careful evaluation by the Technical Program Committee, around 200 high quality research papers have been accepted for the presentation, including in the conference proceedings. This remarkable response reflects the growing academic and research confidence of ICDSC-NC, and we wish that the next third edition of this conference will happen in the 2027 during the same academic year of September or October month. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for providing us with a wonderful overview of ICDSC NC 2026 and highlighting the vision and objectives. Now, the time release of conference proceedings. Knowledge becomes more meaningful when it is documented, shared, and made available to wider academic community. The conference proceedings represent the valuable contributions of researchers and academicians participating in ICDSCNC 2026. We shall now proceed with the release of the conference proceedings. I request all the distinguished dignitaries to kindly join us for the release of the conference proceedings.
ಇದು ಬೇಸಿ ఇప్పుడు ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವತ್ತು
ಇದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರು ರೈಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿ
Thank you, respected dignitaries. The release of the proceedings marks an important milestone in our conference and represents the collective research efforts of all the contributing authors. Now, we come to one of the important moments of today's inaugural ceremony. The greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work. It is our privilege to have with us Professor Kim Yong Lee, Professor Liverpool John Moores University, UK. His presence adds immense value to today's inaugural ceremony and to the academic spirit of ICDSCNC 2026. Sir, we are honored by your presence, and I now request Professor Kim Yong Lee to kindly address the gathering. Sir, the stage is yours.
It is my pleasure and a privilege to extend a warm and cordial welcome to all participants at the International Conference on Distributed System, Computer Network, and Cybersecurity, ICD-SCNC 2026. I'm very honored to be here. I really confident that this conference will provide an excellent platform for meaningful outcome and professional insight, some interactions, enabling researchers, engineering trends, and the industrial experts together to exchange innovative ideas and their insights. The conference will also host valuable opportunities for networking, knowledge transfer, and interdisciplinary collaboration opportunities together. The development of a new research agenda. I believe this is really valuable opportunities for all of the participants. I sincerely appreciate the effort of organizing this this conference with all of the organizers, including the conference chair and the various kind of committee members together. I wish this conference great success and hope the conference will result in fruitful discussions and recognizable results, including meaningful collaborations together. Thank you very much for this comment.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable and inspiring address. And your thoughts and insights have certainly enriched. Now I request Dr. Pavan Idalagi, Senior Systems Engineer at HPE Bangalore, to address the gathering.
Good morning, all. It is very nice to see all students gathering here to share your wonderful knowledge. I did see some interesting papers just by the titles. So, yeah, this is the start of thought process which you should cultivate in the next upcoming years, because the world is changing tremendously with a fast pace. So I'm very thankful to the committee members, reviewers, and the people who are behind this wonderful conference. So I wish the students very best of luck for the presentation. And I once again thank the college management for inviting me for such a wonderful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your meticulous words. Now I request Professor Devendra Gowda, SAT chairperson, IEEE, to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Hello.
Hello.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, my dear student, research scholars, and friends. It's my pleasure to today with the second international conference on distributed system, computer network, and cybersecurity, organized by Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bangalore. I am representing IEEE Bangalore section as an executive committee member and student activity committee of IEEE Bangalore section. IEEE Bangalore section is one of the world largest section across 160 plus country. So that is a proud moment. We are continuously from last 3 to 4 years, we are the number one in the entire 160 plus country. Totally, we have 25,000 plus. We have 25,000 plus members. Totally, we have 25,000 plus members from across Karnataka. In that, we have operational subcommittee like North Karnataka subsection, Mangalore subsection, and Mysore subsection. So, on an average, we are conducting in the year more than 6,000 plus events for student and academician and industry. There are total 185 student branches are there across Karnataka. Out of that, Sri Krishna Institute of Technology 1. And it is happy to know that because even though it is this part, because in Bangalore there are 3 to 4 regions if I am taking, only few institutes they are conducting the conference to enrich the knowledge and sharing. As a representative, I wish for 2 days this entire conference. I also thank to organizers and especially the general chair and the principal, Dr. Mahesh sir. Only one suggestion, because nowadays you know when developing country and we are developing developed country. Okay. Because when I attended in a different events across the globe in IEEE, normally the IEEE is focused on impact rather than numbers. So how we are impacting to the society and what is our contribution to the society, that is very important. Because in the early stage, maybe when we have graduate or postgraduate, we are thinking papers and others. But later onwards, we'll understand what is paper. But only thing is, nowadays there are so many challenges are there across the society. We have to think and we have to come up with a realistic solution. And I'll tell you one good example how the IEEE is going to support. I think everyone know in Agumbe in Karnataka. There are certain regions still in even we are saying it is a Silicon City. We are the top one in India in the Karnataka, right? Still few places we are not getting 100% internet facility, especially if you are taking that that regional in Agumbe and other things. So based on the proposal written by IEEE Mangalore subsection, they got total $40,000 to connect the people, rural people. So over the entire section and Mangalore subsection, they took a call and they developed in association with the National Institute of Technology, Surathkal, and they connected. Nowadays, everyone is happy with that connection, include schools, include post office and other vertical. So that is we can say impact. So I request each and everyone, especially because most of the students, when I'm looking, please, when we are having planning a project, you understand how it is useful for society. That is very important. Maybe if you have small changes, if you done, I think that is more valuable for your contribution to the society. So I wish each and everyone, for organizer and other participants, enjoy these 2 days interaction session and knowledge sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful and thought-provoking address. And now, a dream is not something that you see while sleeping. It is something that does not let you sleep. The success of any institution is built upon visionary leadership, continuous support, and the commitment to transform ideas into meaningful initiatives. It is now a privilege to invite our respected principal, sir, to deliver the presidential address.
The chief guest for today, Professor Lee from UK, Dr. Devendra, Mr. Pawan from HP, Dr. Hemalata, and faculty members from SKIT, faculty members from other institutes, my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. On behalf of SKIT, the management, and each one of us, we welcome each one of you who have come from all over country to present the paper. A special welcome to all of you, the authors and the presenters in the room, because any success of the conference belongs to you, belongs to the quality of the papers that you present, and a special welcome to you. Before coming here, we were discussing with all the three guests here, and we had very fruitful interaction. And the Dr. Devendra was suggesting to start a student chapter. Okay, what we have is at the institute level. That's why we are conducting one of the conferences. But I think when we start the student chapters, specific chapters like cybersecurity or IoT or something like that. So definitely, I'm assuring you, we'll go with 1 or 2 student chapters where you can be active members of that chapter. That is one initiative I'd like to announce at this point of time. And Dr. Pawan is graduate from electronics, MTech from electronics, and doctorate from IIIT Bangalore, working for HP now. He has come out with certain initiatives for SKIT. See, that is the best part of this. Whenever we conduct some conferences like this, we come out with certain initiatives. So we're going to have those also initiatives, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And Professor Lee, basically from South Korea, working for the present university at UK, is expert in AI and AI everywhere. I think I see professor from civil engineering presenting a paper, and that's how it is. We are very eager to listen to you, Professor. He has a keynote address to deliver. And thank you, each one of you, all the 3 sitting here. And special congratulations to Dr. Hemalata. This is the second international conference that we are hosting, and better than the first one, going by the number of the papers that we have received, going by the quality of the papers, is the better than the previous. And definitely we are ready to host the third one, which is going to be better than this. So we always want the good ones. I really appreciate. I know we are all gearing for NBA submission. In spite of that, the organizing committee headed by Hemalata and all the faculty members are doing an excellent job. Special credits to you. And at SKT, we always want to do what we say, and what we say is what we do. And the international conference is truly the international conference. We have papers across, I think Hemlata madam was talking about that, papers across the world. And there are reviewers from the different universities across the world. And some of them will going to present here. The many presenters are here. And it is going to be across 10 different ICT rooms. I'm talking about this because I see a lot of students here. I hope that the details are shared with the students. Based on your interest, so different theme papers are going to be presented at 10 different rooms. Based on your interest, you can sit in that room, and I'll talk about the attendance. You will get attendance for the whole day if you sitting in that room. I think HODs, please ensure that if any student is participating in any room, listening to the papers, you will get attendance. You need not be inside the classroom for today. This is going to be more interesting and more meaningful, and that I want to announce. And second one, I think most of the researchers are here. Only one ಕಿವಿ ಮಾತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. The technology is fast changing. I see the researchers taking more time than the required to pursue their PhD or present the papers. Please stop it. I know being in the academics and concentrating on PhD or research is very hard, but in the fast changing technology, if you delay, somebody else will pick your idea and you may have to change your idea. Don't give room for that. And PhD or research is always beyond class hours. You see IAC, IITs open throughout the day, 24/7. That's how research is. If you say I have class, I have NBA in NAC, and you delay your research, it is not the good thing to do. Okay, please, even for the students, pick up that fast. And definitely I should thank our management, Rakshita madam and Raghavendra sir. They are always backing our initiatives, something like this, whether it is skilling or training or conferences. In her absentia, I want to thank both of them. And I wish all the presenters, the others, a very warm stay at SKIT both the days, and meaningful, interactive, contributing, and I hope you take good things from SKIT, which helps you in your research. But more importantly, I want all the students attend it. At least you should get the glimpse of what is a conference, how does a paper is presented, how do you present a paper in the conference, and then that goes to the journal. You should learn it. Okay, I want all of you sitting here make best use of that. And once again, I wish you all the best and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful and inspiring words. Your vision and encouragement will continue to motivate the entire team in taking forward our academic and research initiatives. Gratitude is the greatest and purest of all virtues. As we come to words, it is time to express our gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of this event. Now, I have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Nirmala S. Gupta, Dean Academics, Department of CAC, Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, to propose a word of thanks.
Good morning, one and all present here. Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and all my dear team SKT, presenters from various parts of the country, states, Karnataka, Bengaluru, and all my dear students. Myself, Dr. Nirmala S. Gupta, Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department, Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, along with the role as Dean Academics for SKIT. So on behalf of our institute, it is my privilege to extend a formal and heartfelt vote of thanks to everyone who contributed to the success of the second international conference on distributed systems, computer networks, and cybersecurity. Now, the gratitude is most important for every one of us. So the time has come to express our sincere gratitude and thankfulness to the one and all present here on dais, off dais, and to everyone. So our foremost and profound gratitude to our chief guests for the day, Professor Gyom Yong Lee, Professor Liverpool John Moores University, UK. Dr. Pavan Edalagi, Senior Systems Engineer, HPE, Bengaluru, India. So we thank heartfully for both the chief guest to accept the invitation to be the part of IEEE conference chief guest and gracing this occasion. So we thank you wholeheartedly from the entire team of SKIT, management, principal, organizing team, and every one of us here. So now I would like to request our principal sir to felicitate them with the gratitude and a note of emotional respect from our institution. Sir, it's my privilege to felicitate Dr. Pavan Idaligi sir also. So I request again our principal sir to thank him with a felicitation to Pavan sir. Thank you very much, sir. To express our deepest gratitude, now I would like to request again our principal sir to felicitate the IEEE volunteer and a SAC member who is none other than Professor Devendra Gowda from Acharya Institute of Technology for gracing this occasion as the inaugural ceremony for the international conference. So we would like to request sir to felicitate him. ಇಬ್ರು ಬನ್ನಿ ಸರಿ 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 Now it's the time to honor and thank our principal sir, who is the backbone for all these activities which are being conducted at our institution meticulously. Every week, every month, every fortnight, we are having an event. So now I'd like to request Professor Shankar sir to felicitate and thank our principal sir from the entire team of organizing committee, second international conference, IEEE at SKT. Now I would like to thank the most important person for the day, Dr. Hemalata KL, Professor HOD, Department of CSC, Dean Student Affairs, SKIT, and Technical Program Chair for the today's conference. So now I would like to thank and request the gratitude to be accepted from the entire team of organizing committee and on behalf of SKIT. Now I would like to request Dr. Rupa ma'am, HOD Civil Engineering, to felicitate Hemalata ma'am. Now the most important, as sir was rightly thanking, the main pillars for this entire show, entire infrastructure is none other than our management, SREIS. So I would like to really thank our founder secretary, Dr. K.M. Venkatramana sir, in his absentia, Mrs. Sumitra Venkatramana, President SREIS Bengaluru, Dr. Raghavendra V, Director SREIS, as well as the one who is there with us supporting entirely the day and night is Rakshita ma'am, who works with us as Associate Director SREIS Bengaluru. So we would like to thank all of them in their absentia. Now, last but not the least, the entire team SKIT, and the most important, the people who have traveled towards SKIT for their presentation of the papers or the contributions towards the research, innovation, or it may lead to any kind of an entrepreneurial structured way. So we would like to thank from the entire team of SKIT and the organizing committee of Second International Conference. So we thank each one of you for this. Have a happy and healthy stay at SKIT. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful thing. Now we have some video messages from Dr. Nihil Gasha Torres and Mr. Adarsh Ravi and Dr. Fernando Moreira. I request all the delegates, dignitaries to occupy the front seats. Thank you, sir.
For the IEEE International Conference on Distributed Systems, Computer Network, and Cybersecurity, organized by Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. This conference represents a valuable convergence of researchers, academicians, industry professionals, and experts from diverse disciplines, united by a common objective of advancing knowledge and innovation in distributed systems, computer networks, cybersecurity, and emerging computing technologies. I extend my sincere appreciation to the organizers at Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bengaluru, for their vision, dedication, and commitment in bringing together such a distinguished community to exchange ideas, share research outcomes, and foster meaningful collaboration. I wish all the participants a productive, enriching, and inspiring conference. May the knowledge share, idea exchange, and connection established during ICT-SCNC 2026 serve as a catalyst for future research, innovation, and technological advancement. Best wishes for the grand success of ICT-SCNC 2026.
Hi, good morning. It is my immense pleasure to learn that Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bangalore, is organized the IEEE International Conference on Distributed Systems, Computer Networks, and Cybersecurity. I had the privilege of attending the first edition of the conference in person, and I fondly recall excellent arrangements and warm hospitality extended during my visit. I sincerely appreciate the efforts of the organizers, particularly Dr. Masha Kap, Principal, and Dr. Emalat El Tokshare for their gracious hospitality and dedicated efforts in making the conference a memorable experience. This conference provides an excellent platform for researchers, academicians, industry professionals, and practitioners from diverse disciplines to exchange ideas, share innovative research, and explore emerging developments in distributed systems, computer networks, cybersecurity, and related areas. The conference themes is particularly relevant in today's rapidly evolving technology landscape, where intelligent computing, data-driven solutions, connectivity, and cybersecurity are transforming industry, academia, and society. I encourage all participants to actively engage in the technical presentations, workshops, panel discussions, and collaborative interaction through the conference. I'm confident that the knowledge shared and discussions held during this conference will inspire new ideas, strengthen academic and professional collaborations, and contribute to meaningful advancement in the field. I extend my wishes to the organizers, authors, delegates, researchers, and participants for highly successful and enriching conference. May this conference serve as a catalyst for innovation, collaboration, and future breakthrough in technology. Wishing the conference great success and continued excellence in the years ahead. Thank you.
Computer Network and Cybersecurity, ICDS-CNT 2026, being organized by Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bengaluru, in association with the IEEE Bangalore section. The conference provides a valuable platform for bringing together researchers, academicians, industry professionals, and practitioners from diverse areas of computer science and engineering to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and discuss recent advancements in distributed systems, computer networks, cybersecurity, and related emerging technologies. I am delighted to note that ICDSCNT 2026 will foster meaningful academic and professional interactions, encouraging collaboration and the exchange of innovative research ideas across various domains. I am confident that the conference will provide an excellent forum for presenting significant research contributions, exploring emerging challenges, and identifying new opportunities for technological advancement. I sincerely appreciate the efforts of the organizers and the participating institutions in bringing together this important academic and research forum. I wish ICDSCNT 2026 a great success and hope that the conference will result in valuable discussions, fruitful collaborations, and impactful research outcomes. My best wishes to the entire organizing committee, participating institutions, researchers, academicians, industry professionals, and all the delegates for a very highly successful and enriching conference. With best wishes for the success of ICDSCNT 2026.
We now move towards the keynote sessions, where we will have the opportunity to listen to distinguished experts and gain valuable insights from their knowledge and experience. And it's now time to begin with the keynote session of ICDSCNC 2026. Our first keynote speaker is Professor Kim Myong Lee, Liverpool, John Moores University, UK. We are honored to have him deliver the first keynote address of this conference. A keynote address provides us with an opportunity to look beyond conventional perspectives and explore emerging ideas, challenges, and possibilities in the field. Sir, we request you to be engaging the session. So few seconds, they are actually getting it ready to be affixed. Call a mic.
You can choose either 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
It can take as much as possible, sir, as much as possible until you complete. Whatever your insights, you can actually share. How many more minutes that you can tackle?
30 minutes is okay.
30 minutes? Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, start.
Yeah, 1 minute caller might be until you can manage.
Like this. Okay, good morning, everyone. Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to this conference. The topic for today is standardization activity on AI-powered Internet of Things. You know very well, IoT, Internet of Things, but recently AI technology is really important tools to provide automation. So in this regard, recently there are lots of ongoing efforts how we successfully support AI-powered Internet of Things. Currently, lots of our colleagues here for the fundamental research, I believe, but industrial viewpoint, many industrial partners, they are engaging in various kind of standardization efforts. So in this regard, my talk is more focusing on standardization, particularly ITOT, on the United Nations. There are lots of applications for Internet of Things. One of the key application areas is smart city. So in this regard, I also want to consider urban intelligence. Before starting, let me just briefly introduce myself. So I studied in Korea and then worked at NIST, United Nations, and then also telecom shooter parties in France for 6 years. Now I am at Liverpool John Moores University in the UK. My research background mostly networks, computing technologies, Internet of Things, various kind of applications, including cybersecurity. So I believe these items are tightly linked to the conference topics here: distributed system, computer networks, and cybersecurity, I believe. So now let me start from introduction, and then I will provide key concepts of artificial intelligence of things. This is a combination of AI and the IoT, and then presents recent progress, particularly with the agent AI. And lastly, I will show you important directions for standardization. You know very well, Internet of Things I already mentioned. I believe nearly 20 years ago, we started to develop IoT. When we started the Internet of Things technologies, at that time we mainly covered only sensing technologies, large sensors, small devices, rather than conventional PCs, etc. However, when we consider these kind of things, rather than just the sensing technologies, we identified the strong demand, the necessity of our networks. That was the sense networking technologies. In case of the networks, if we deploy various kind of networking equipment in the real world, probably more than 10 years, we don't need to replace them. So there's certain cycle. If we start to deploy, there's lots of demand, but more than 10 years, there's no particular demand. Just saturated lots of things. So during the time, most of the service providers, they wanted to build many applications and they wanted to make money. So most of the monies come from businesses, certain application domain. So this diagram actually shows very important things here, starting from connectivity for networking technologies and more sensing technologies and communications. But most of the values businesses come from analytics of data from sensors and how we make decisions for particular certain action areas, and then these kind of things will generate lots of values. So in this regard, most of the technologies recently, big companies in United States, such as Google, Amazon, Meta, these kind of companies, they are sort of providers, service providers, right? Not a network providers. What the services, they make money and they also invest a lot in the computing facilities, the data centers, etc. The important directions for technical evolution, starting from just identification, sensing, and the remote control without human intervention. But real human interactions should be made, lots of optimizations and autonomy technologies. That is the reason why we move this kind of technology to the big data analytics and the recently artificial intelligence for data-driven learning and decision making. So I believe this is very important. So how we successfully combine many elementary solutions, IoT, big data, and the AI, that's the challenging point. So in this regard, rather than just simply relying on IoT technologies, recently we really wanted to best utilize AI techniques. That is the keyword, artificial intelligence of things. From these keywords, you can easily identify IoT, still innovative, but it's powered by AI. The reason is to achieve certain particular intelligence. Certain particular autonomy technologies are not really always fine. It means that if you really want to rely on autonomous driving, for example, how you rely on certain particular decision made by your vehicle. There are lots of security and dangerous related issues, safety issues, etc. So we really need to think about this kind of solution. So in this regard, when we technically achieve AI plus Internet of Things, we just simply position IoT, data, and the AI, this kind of layered architectures. On another important direction, horizontally, rather than just simply device-centric approaches, we can store our data nearby our individual users, that's the edge computing technologies. And we can also store our data and then utilize this kind of data for big data analytics in a centralized cloud. So large-level technical solutions should be integrated. So horizontally and vertically, you can easily identify what kind of technical solutions need to be used. The issue is just a single technology is not sufficient. So how we successfully integrate large technical solutions like just single particular entities. So in this regard, slightly different perspectives from the data sources for individual sensors to the applications for various kind of different areas here. All of the individual technical solutions can be positioned here, but this diagram shows slightly different directions in terms of real flows of data. Rather than just kind of a sort of particular technical component, data collection, and then filtering data, and then aggregating data, and analytic data, and then find some meaningful results. This kind of a whole processing of data is the data processing and management, DPM. So DPM is really important areas, especially in data analytics. So a long time ago, we mainly considered data processing and management. At that time, we used lots of computing facilities, even GPU recently. And then another thing, although we can consider this kind of data from this kind of traditional data analytics solution, now we have a lot of techniques with AI algorithms, more efficient ways to process many data. And then we also use this kind of solution and increasingly support many intelligent solutions together. That's the analytics, but with the AI, that's very important things. Then the AI-powered analytics, what deep analytics solutions can be supported here. So this kind of whole life cycle is very important, but one important challenging point is how we securely and reliably with this kind of ecosystem. So that's the real challenging point. Now I'd like to talk about what kind of specific AI techniques need to be used. Traditionally, we just simply consider this kind of a very simple process to deal with the data from individual sensors. Secondly, there was certain technologies to train, and then from the training data, we can get certain insights from AI models. And then very recently, like ChatGPT, more user-friendly interfaces. So now you are using lots of AI tools, Gemini, ChatGPT, etc. So these kind of tools provide user-friendly interface to easily understand what you are talking about. So devices can understand. Even devices also like human, we can communicate. So exchange this kind of messages, devices can learn more accurately and then decide more valuable, what the reasonable answers that we provided. That's the really cutting-edge technologies regarding generative AI solutions. Now, based on this kind of advances from generative AI like ChatGPT, now we are talking about systematic AI solutions rather than just centralize the one, just accessing certain platforms and then get certain results, just the client and server models is not also always perfect. Nowadays, everyone has your smartphone, mobile phone, right? So these kind of facilities are very distributed and decentralized. It means that you, as a user, you can generate your own service or applications, and then you can also work together with your colleagues. This is a kind of another ways of social networking. So traditionally, social networks like Facebook, right? So you can just post your photos to the platforms, and somebody can access and then share and sort of messages, etc. This is not really dynamic ways. Even we can easily exchange this kind of messages. But in the future, one important thing is proactively you can create your own applications with the help of AI solutions. That is the really important solutions with the AI agent. You can build just a single agent. Your friends combine here the multiple agents. So now question is how we collaborate each other with the individual AI agent. That is the reason why we created another solutions, agentic AI. Just a single agent is relatively easy, but multiple agents, how we work together. So really it is kind of a cutting edge technology, like generative AI technology. Now we are talking about agentic AI with a multiple AI techniques. For example, we can consider to build and specify sort of particular goal. In order to achieve this kind of a goal, normally just single agent is not sufficient. The multiple agents collaborate. Even we cannot really create sort of particular accurate messages, they can understand each other. They can plan like here, and they also can act. This is sort of particular actions, right? And then more importantly, feedback mechanism. For example, past actions is not so accurate and repeatedly we can learn and accumulate certain particular data and we can get more accurate results. Some case based on your historical information, how we accurately reflect this kind of new decision making. So we don't really need to rely on individual humans, right? Each agent report your behaviors and based on your previous historical data, these agents can make decisions. That's the agent AI solutions. So now issue is how we accommodate this kind of AI solutions to Internet of Things environment. So that's the artificial intelligence of things technology. So now I would like to talk about what are significant differences between traditional Internet of Things and agentic AI-based Internet of Things. Traditionally, for example, in the certain particular systems in your home, temperature sensors, each sensor just can collect or measure current temperature. Just based on temperature itself, we can make a simple decision, right? Room temperature is kind of warm, very hot, then air conditioner will be turning off and then work together. So this kind of very simple things. By the way, nowadays rather than just one single sensors. We can think about so many number sensors. Then these kind of multiple sensors need to work together. That's the agent AI solutions. So in your home, there will be some centralized certain more equipment, like a gateway in your home. So this gateway can collect lots of different data from different sensors. It's a kind of a central brain for your home. Then multiple sensors can synergetically work together, and then different ways they can provide quite insightful solutions for autonomous. So in this regard, in order to move from traditional solutions, the single agent, to multiple agent solutions, basically we need these kind of simple things like perception, reasoning, and action. So normally, if we just simply rely on one single system, then single system needs to have lots of more components for supporting these kind of key actions, right? Key functions. But now we can split this kind of individual functional components just agent concept. Certain agents just do only perception functions. Certain agents do just the reasoning function, these kind of things. Some case even certain agents are not really physically same location. So we can interconnect via networks and then work together. So many technical solutions can be made. For example, multi-agent collaboration instead of just a single agent. And the advanced reasoning and planning, we can just give a sort of particular task, just a single task, one single agent. But multiple tasks sequentially work together. So this kind of manner, currently, the good thing is instead of relying on only single agent, let's try to connect multiple agents and well organized and work together for supporting one common goals. So that's the very innovative solution. So in this regard, now I am talking about multi-agent system. Previously, we just considered only one single device, one system. Multi-agent system means it's more complex system, but with the help of networking solutions, it's quite reasonable way to expand lots of new technical solutions. Basically, multi-agent system, this one is a kind of multiple agents are connected. So then, as you can see here, agents are multiple agents and kind of different environments, and definitely we need to interact, and then organizations. Many different things need to be covered, like a distributed system. So we have a lot of distributed systems, like IT systems together. So these kind of systems need to work simultaneously. I mean, lots of techniques such as orchestration, collaborations, and some case sequentially or parallelly, lots of different ways. So very similarly, let's deploy many useful techniques to be applied in the AI system. AI is not just only centralized server. So AI will be many different models. Each model will be deployed to sort of particular small agent. Then the issue is how we connect together. So in order to support this one, here's the kind of important directions. Previously, I showed just a single agent and a multiple agent. Very similarly, very simple AI techniques appear and then agent concept. If we have a multiple agent and then important thing is to collaborate. Multiple agents are collaborated, then multiple groups, then these kind of groups will make another communities. This is the ecosystem. So currently, lots of ecosystems appear to support so many number of collaborative solutions. So in this regard, I believe this is really challenging techniques for the future if AI solutions are dominant in our cyberspace. So in this regard, this is a visionary idea. Rather than just simply considering connecting things, this is the Internet of Things. 20 years ago, we had a dream to realize Internet of Things with the sensors, with the networks together. Now, due to the emergence of AI solutions, AI models, we are considering so many number of agents, even small agents will have AI functions. Okay? Your mobile phone, many AI modules, like small sensors, even temperature sensors, they have small AI modules there, embedded AI solutions there. So then ultimately, we have the goal how we interconnect agents. These agents should be AI agents. The dream is internal AI agent or internal agent rather than just simply things. That's the really interesting point. So nowadays, this concept is well characterized, and then we really wanted to support so many challenging ideas for many agents, some case grouping of agents, and some case kind of distributed agents, and some case client server models. So many different models will be considered. So then, like here, conventionally, we just simply interconnected personal PC and the mobile environment. And the future, if we consider this kind of agent, then ultimately we can realize internal agent. So that is the really final stage how we consider the next version of internal things with an AI, internal agent. So I try to really emphasize this one as a final thing. Now, let's think about what kind of technical solutions we should develop to realize internal agent world in the future. So as I already mentioned, single agent is relatively easy, but multiple agent, the fundamental thing is we need to collaborate. In this regard, how we collaborate, there are lots of ways for collaboration, different strategies, and different communication mechanisms, architectures. So communication is a really first thing to do for agent AI environment. Secondly, if we can communicate, when we are collaborate means, so let's think about to make certain particular products in a factory, right? There are lots of different facilities, different roles. Finally, we can produce certain particular final outcome, right? So in order to successfully collaborate, so then tasks should be well defined And then individual tasks, very limited functions, but ultimately, so many number of tasks should be interconnected and well organized so that finally, based on so many steps, and then we can get some particular outcome, right? So if we successfully consider to collaborate, and the next step is to assign individual tasks to each agent, and then make workflow. We need to well design very specific steps of an individual agent and then link them, then produce larger results. So that's the second challenging point. How we support certain particular workflow agentic manner. It means that autonomously individual tasks should be well working, and then finally these kind of each tasks need to be well integrated and then produce some global outcomes. So in order to do that, for agentic workflow, we can consider to support sort of particular operations. For example, we have common goal of an individual participant, and we need to define what kind of things are necessary to achieve certain particular goals. And then we can execute and then monitor and report. So many things need to be well specified. So then, as we intended, we can get the correct result. So that's the agency workflow as a second important challenging. And the third one, now I want to show you one particular example regarding urban intelligence. We are talking about smart cities. In a smart city environment, lots of applications. So let me just give you this kind of a hierarchical environment. In a city center here, lots of buildings here, so many traffic and so many vehicles here. If there is some central tower to monitor the current traffic jams, etc. Right? So then many different roles, like for example, central tower for the particular system simply monitor the current situation. But on the road, lots of surveillance cameras, right? So they monitor the current traffic situation. If certain things are happening, car accidents, certain emergency situations, etc. So that these kind of things need to be well identified and coordinated among many different regular agents here. So that's the very important things. Rather than doing very small task only, tasks have different roles. We very simply consider task force agent, like just one sensor, one single sensor. But certain agent can do slightly different roles, like coordinating and running, and in some case, like a beta agent here. So this agent managing the whole workflow, as I already mentioned. Agentic workflow is very important, and the goal and strategy of the workflow. But these kind of things need to be well specified. So the beauty of this kind of agentic AI is to easily define many different roles and many different tasks dramatically, some dynamic situations as a software engineering techniques. So then if we successfully deploy these kind of sort of facilities, then depending on different situations, we can easily update our solution and then best utilize existing infrastructures and then timely support lots of dynamic situations together. And that's the brought some challenging points regarding different types of agents. So based on these kind of things, now I would like to introduce what we have considered, particularly global viewpoints from international standardization viewpoint. For international standardization viewpoint, we first started to define what is Internet of Things and what is AI of things. So in this step, we start to define the term artificial intelligence of things. This is a combination of AI, data, and IoT. As I already showed this diagram, when we consider to newly define artificial intelligence of things, we have recognized these kind of important things. AI at the edge instead of a centralized server. So this is really distributed environment. If we want to distribute AI solutions, then AI models, machine learning should be lightweight. If we want to consider to support Internet of Things, like a constrained environment. So that's the reason why we have recognized the emergence of a tiny ML instead of just the conventional machine learning techniques. Another important thing is how we use this kind of distributed environment to support dynamic application. That's the distributed AI as a service. And then, blockchain, right? So cybersecurity technologies, this is a really important distributed ledger to support transparent and kind of secure transactions together. So in this regard, in the IoT environment, we recognize that blockchain can do some significant goals for decentralization. And then, like here, eventually, we need to support predictive analytics and real-time processing with an accurate decision. So these kind of things should be made. The common directions for supporting this kind of solution is user-centered approaches. So we don't really need to rely on giant companies in United States. You, as the creators, data generators, just the simple users, consumers, you can generate, you can make lots of new solutions, and you can link your friend and expand these kind of things. So that is the very important thing. Rather than provider-centric approaches, artificial intelligence thing, we need to develop user-centric approaches. That's the really important thing. That's the really fundamentally different direction for designing our IoT application. So based on this kind of work, we consider to develop a very important standard. So we, IoT Study Group 20, created a group, correspondence group for artificial intelligence of things. They started to develop related document. And then, like here, produced many documents, starting from framework documents, functional architecture requirements, and then functional requirement and architecture, artificial intelligence of things, reference architecture, data fusion service, and then robotics service. Many different areas can be used. So this kind of manner, currently IQT extend lots of things to support AIoT concepts. So as I already mentioned, this kind of architecture solutions have been defined as I introduced before. And then based on this kind of architecture, currently IQT also started to develop agentic AI solutions, particularly in the AIoT environment. How we easily consider to adopt agentic AI techniques in IoT and AI systems. In order to consider currently there are several solutions from the framework level, autonomous goal-driven AI agents operating within IoT environment. And then if we successfully consider agentic AIoT, then we would like to also develop recover. And then one important thing is multi-agent collaboration. So finally, even we deploy certain particular solutions like things, AI modules, and various kind of solutions together, if we cannot clearly specify certain particular goals or tasks, etc., then it's not really easy to support multi-agent system. So currently, ITOT is doing some significant work for specifying this kind of orientated things. As I also mentioned, this kind of multiple agent, different roles of agent, currently ITOT has specified somewhat the functional aspect and then try to identify reference points and defining the individual functions and interfaces together. So that's the current statement. So the later part here, if we really want to successfully work with this kind of distributed environment with the different tasks, with the different functional blocks here, we recognize that we should clearly specify relevant capabilities here. So in this regard, core decomposition and distribution, so we need to first have a very concrete idea why we are using AI agents, and then coordinate and orchestration. Definitely, communication is a really important thing to support some distributed environment, and then cooperation and autonomy, and the multi-agent task allocation, data acquisition, learning and adaptation, then continuously expand these kind of solutions. This is scalability issues and sustainable solution control field. So I believe that's the key ideas. So then lesson 3, we identified another important things. You know, this network, lots of different links among different nodes. And similarly, in the future, if we consider so many number of agents and collaboration, this is a kind of an agent mess. So this is a kind of process of a networking, multiple specialized AI agents, eventually to solve certain particular complex tasks. Then we need to develop very important roles and some design patterns and the technological solutions for particular protocols to communicate A to A, these kind of things, and some orchestration, these kind of things need to be covered. So I believe agentness is really important challenges in these areas. So if we successfully support this kind of whole ideas for realizing agentic math techniques, then as I mentioned, inter-agent concepts will be realized. So later part of my presentation shows just several documents which are currently developing in IQT. For example, intelligent IoT service, many documents are quickly developing. And some applications, there's kind of different areas, some cases, smart buildings, etc. Many different areas, different solutions need to be also developed. And then data processing and management is really fundamental things. So DPM related work also is currently working. And then another important thing is there are so many different ways, data perspectives. The important thing is we need to share our data. But fundamentally important point is no one wants to open your data due to some sensitivity issues, some privacy matters, etc. How we successfully consider to support this kind of data sharing for increasing value. Just consume your data locally without sharing your data, there is no impact. But if you want to share your data, there are lots of risky environments. That's the reason why we always need to think about some secure, high, transparent, trustable environment. There are some trade-offs, but we really need to think about to support data sharing interoperability. Then we can build lots of good facilities, some good environment as an ecosystem for easily using many useful tools, data together in a collaborative manner. I believe that's the whole the current situation. Some other things such as trust or some other topics are also very important. But let me conclude my talk. As I already mentioned, Internet of Things was really important technical direction long time ago. Nowadays, instead of just simply considering basic level of Internet of Things, we would like to combine multiple solutions with the AI techniques. So then multiple agents will appear. So then rather than just simply considering Internet of Things, finally, we can think about how we interconnect many intelligent agents. So then final dream is agentic, artificial intelligence of things. These kind of things need to be really focused. Then we can realize this dream in the future. So that's my talk. So thank you. Any questions?
Ask questions, sir.
Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, then we can have a short time to Q&A. So any questions? If there is no questions, then in the break time, we can discuss further because
Participants, any questions?
When it comes to implementation, how we can make sure that agentic AOT leads to some error free means when it comes to practical implementations, how we can compare the agentic AOT with the AOT in future.
so comparison, right? Agent AIoT and AIoT, right? So when we first started to develop the concept regarding AIoT, at the time we haven't considered the agentic AI concepts. The fundamental difference is how we consider multiple distributed and decentralized system in case of agentic AI. So AIoT case, we can just simply consider one single part, one fixed environment, something like this, and then consider to add just the AI modules there. This is a relatively simple decision making, I believe. But agentic AIoT means based on individual AIoT solutions. Now we are talking about interconnecting multiple AIoT systems. This is a kind of a system. This is a kind of certain infrastructure, right? So how we multiple systems connect, collaborate, and generate certain particular result. There are lots of different technical solutions, I believe. That's the more complicated things, but we need to finally consider to achieve this kind of goals. So basically, important thing is from the AIoT and then support multiple AIoT systems, then eventually we can consider agentic AIoT. That's the step for evolution.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, when we create agentic AIs or personal agents, for example, for sending or replying to my email, so how they will, for example, if I get an email, if I get a mail and I have to give the response of 1 year back. So, and today I have created that agent, how it will do that, how it will respond to that information, because it has just I have generated it, but it has to respond to the last year information that has been asked to it. So how it will get that information, or it will start only from whatever from today to which it has been trained.
Yes, so probably you have a certain experience from current generative AI tools. They remember when you ask some things, then based on some historical information, they can give a more accurate and more customized answers, right? Agentic AI perspectives is not just a simple chat GPT based on particular language models. You can create your own apps. For example, if you want to more easily respond based on your behaviors or sort of particular your patterns or your demand. So then you can create single app like just in your mobile phone, right? And then this app will continue to run your behaviors. So then 1 year later, even already 1 year ago, right? So certain particular things this app remember and then more accurately respond. So in order to do that, there are lots of different responses or different things will be happening, right? So then one single app probably it's difficult to accurately respond. Some case this app need to know your current location. So then this app needs to be linked to certain location-based service app. Some case you also need to consider exactly what time that kind of contact information need to be linked, right? So then probably you heard the keyword super app. Super app means just one single app, but inside this app, multiple apps are really linked together and work together. And similarly, if you want to make your own personal assistant with the AI solutions, then this assistant is a kind of agentic AI system. Inside these systems, probably you can create lots of small agents and assign some individual tasks, and then think about how will you successfully link. And then, for example, 1 year ago, you had a certain particular demand to respond or to do some things, but now no more necessary. So then you can change some things. But understandably, consider lots of new demand or environment. So this is really practical ways with the software based, and then you personalize the environment based on uh, some issues. But if we always consider to rely on one particular centralized approaches, for example, giant companies, they can provide just well-known services. It's difficult to provide some personalized services. Even certain algorithms can be applied to your behaviors, right? Some previous attack their baby member and then provide more active things. But more importantly, if you really wanted to make kind of customized solutions, then ancient AI concepts should be well applied and then continue to think about to use them with the current your environment. So that's the key point I believe. So continuously, these kind of ideas will be expanded and then use various kind of facilities linked with some network and computing, and then lots of innovative solutions can be generated.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the enlightening and insightful, meticulous keynote session. We sincerely appreciate the valuable knowledge and perspectives you have shared with us. Next, now we proceed to our second keynote session. Our next keynote speaker is Dr. Pavan Idilini, Senior Systems Engineer, HP Bangalore. We are pleased to have an industry expert with us to share his knowledge, experience, and perspectives with our participants. Paul, we are honored by your presence and look forward to your valuable insights.
ಇದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಾ Hello. Good morning, all. I would like to thank my only professor for the deep insights on agentic AI and their use cases. Thank you very much. Now I'll be presenting a very few slides which can create an awareness on this theme of this conference. Computer networks, distributed system, and cyber security systems. The title of this presentation, Sailing the Oceans of Computer Networks Safely. It seems dramatic, but I deliberately chose this because we are in the phase where computer networks is everything for everybody. So we need to make sure the person who uses this infrastructure is 100% secure, distributed, and at the same time precise for his use case. So next. So these are some of the Google Gemini generated images which show some of the activities. The first one is the person who is paying a tea seller using his smartphone and he is scanning QR code. And the second one is a family watching some streaming movie. And the third one, you can see that students are getting educated online. And this is a stock exchange. So thanks to Google Gemini for generating these insightful images. And at the same time, all these communities are in the radar of hackers. So this is the choking point in this current scenario. So whatever you develop, it will be in the radar of the hackers. So when I say hackers, it is not a human being. It might be agentic AI. So we should be under the governance such that each and every agent should be secured, and it should be under the standards which are well defined by multiple collaborated countries. Now, we will not exactly, there is no specific sequence for this presentation. I just would I would like to ignite all of you on where are we, and whatever use we can, whatever use cases we have in these days, I would like to emphasize on it, like how the infrastructure is and how we are actually using them in our day-to-day life. The first scenario we'll take, we are not going to take each and every scenario, we'll just go with the first scenario. So these are the participants. So whenever you pay to a merchant using your smartphone with any of your payment application, so these are the participants at the back end. So this is your mobile phone. When you input the PIN, it will go to the payment security provider. We all know that there is one entity called ISP, Internet Service Provider. In the similar way, it is a payment service provider. So if you use say PhonePe or Paytm, how do you make the payment? Using UPI ID. So something will be there like XYZ at PTHDFC or yes. So the name will identify what is your payment service provider. So that payment service provider will in turn tell to NPCI. NPCI stands for National Payment Corporation of India. We should be proud that this is invented by India. So PSP will tell that I need to debit certain amount from the customer, the payer, and then it will have its own way of authenticating from what bank, what customer, whether the legitimate user is there in the ecosystem or not. So that will be done by this hub. This is just a one switch, but it will be an ecosystem, like it's a group of switches. And then after the authentication process, it will again hand over to the payer bank. Yes, you can go ahead and release the request of debit. Then it will again intimate the NPCI about the response. Yes, I have initiated. Next, the NPCI will hand over the request to the merchant's bank. So the person to whom you are going to pay. And similarly, the handoff will happen to the end customer. And again, the response comes back to the NPCI again. And NPCI will in turn will tell your payment service provider. So this will happen in just 3 milliseconds, right? Now imagine all these participants are at the back end. They are not just one system, they are all distributed. So that's a wonderful theme of this conference. Like, you have a system, you have a task, divide it, and those tasks will be handled by distributed systems. And NPCI, when I'm emphasizing this, it is actually a core ecosystem of our Indian payment system. So it has multiple tasks involved. One of the key tasks is authentication, the legitimacy of the transaction. That's very important, because till now, whatever transactions you do, it will be under the radar of this NPCI. And this huge data will be analyzed by agentic AI to draw the financial information which is useful to the across assessment year and the financial year of our country. And I should tell about this NPCI more, because we should be proud that it is invented by India. As I was telling, it is a pure invention of India, and this is just one of the examples I have given. Billions of transactions will be happening, okay, in a minute or sometimes in a second. So the handling of such volume of transactions will be done by this NPCI ecosystem. So that is a scale, right? And how this scale can be achieved? By the distributed systems. And we invented this, and we have removed the dependency on middlemen who were taking some of the processing charges. So that is completely removed, right? I hope if you want to transfer 10 rupees to a person, you are going to transfer 10 rupees, and the person also receives 10 rupees only. So without any extra charges. Okay. When I say inclusion, massive financial inclusion, this is true for a chai seller, that is tea seller, at the same time Ambani, right? So it includes all the ecosystem of India. Zero leakage governance. So as we know, this is very important. We, under the umbrella of PM's lot of initiatives which should reach to the poor people, that has to be a zero leakage governance. So how it is possible? Through NPCI only. The slide in which I showed the ecosystem of the NPCI, right? So that does magic. So it will not allow any third person involvement in making this transaction. Like there are a lot of scholarships, and there are flood relief money which has to be sent to the specific community or the people. It will go without a middleman through this NPCI ecosystem. And yeah, this is interesting to see that NPCI, though it is invented by India, this invention or this proposal was initially done by each and every person who are Indians, and all the tech giants of different countries are getting this technology, and we are having the full-fledged royalty of this NPCI ecosystem. So we should be proud of this NPCI. Okay, now this is a picture of the food delivery, and how it takes place. You are going to place an order, and server waits for payments, and on successful payments alerts the restaurant and then assigns the driver for your food to get delivered to the home, right? Now these are the simple instructions which has to be executed at the back end. Now if the events are synchronous, does it help? Because in a minute you are going to have your system to serve say thousands to lakhs of delivery orders. So if the events are synchronous, your system will crash, because if I am going to order a food and if I don't get the response on time, then I will stop using that system, right? That is the caveat. Like how it should be possible. Again, distributed systems. Now if you go to the distributed system environment, this is how they implement. What they use is just a software queue. I think you will come to know like how a queue will be done at the software, and in that queue all the relevant messages all the customers' messages will go and sit in the queue. And the person who is responsible for processing the messages will pick from that queue. It is the processor's headache to take the individual messages from that queue. So in doing so, you are not synchronous, you are asynchronous, but at the same time accurate. Now, okay, sorry for this slide. So this slide wants to tell the flaw in the traditional firewall. In Linux, we use IP tables. So this IP tables in plain words is the rule creator for the incoming packets. So what it does is it will just tell to frame the rule and frame an action. If so and so packet from source IP and the destination IP is coming to your box and with certain port, then either you take that packet inside your system and process it, or drop or forward based on your system's role. So this is that traditional system. So NIC is network interface card. So the packet hitting to your system goes through all this process like pre-routing, forward, input, output, and then reaching to the system for the application or forwarding or getting dropped. Now it has a flaw. What flaw? Whenever a packet comes to your NIC, right, it has to get processed by your CPU when the IP tables rule is framed. IP table sits in the user space, but the processing happens at the kernel, Linux kernel, and each and every packet will be allocated a specific number of bytes. And say somebody is flooding with the TCP FIN requests, barrage of requests will come to your system, and for each and every packet the kernel will allocate certain number of bytes. What will happen? The RAM will get exhausted, right? So the traditional firewall will not work anymore. So what is the solution? It is just one of the solutions, right? So XDP, it stands for Express Data Path. So that is the one which takes the packet before it gets sent to the kernel. So it is kind of a hardware engine where the rules are framed to either send to the CPU for the further processing or get dropped. So before the allocation of the certain number of the bytes which I was talking about, the packet will get dropped if it is malicious. Now this is critical. Like we all know that there is a concept called OSL layer, right? So how many layers? 7 layers. So in this AI world, we need to have security in each and every layer. Coming to the, sorry, the application layer is not visible. Sir, so can you minimize so that the side slides can be visible? Okay, this is fine. The first layer is application. So in the application, it is a typical application like on your system, if you install any kind of software, that becomes an application. And in your phone, if you install any application that like phone pay or any other software, that becomes an application. So there, how the user is getting the security. So that kind of thought process should be there at that layer 7. Coming to the presentation, so there is a concept called transport layer security which should be there in the presentation layer. So that will take care of providing the security by putting each and every bytes which you send encryption by encryption. Session layer, the session is what? Whenever you log into a system, say a financial transaction, and if you don't do anything, keeping it idle, the session gets timed out. That's one of the applications of the session layer. So it keeps track of your sessions for individual applications. Transport layer, as I was telling, when somebody does the SYN flooding, like whenever a TCP connection should get established, right, the very first packet the initiator will send is a SYN packet. So if he sends volume of SYN requests, right? That becomes an attack. So how do you handle it? So that is a thought process. Now similarly on the data link layer, when you come to a system to system communication, one system should communicate with the other only when it knows its destination MAC address, right? Only it knows the MAC address. So how do you identify it? By using the ARP table, address resolution table, right? So in that table, if somebody corrupts the table, so instead of going to the legitimate system, it will go to the attacker, and that's how attack will start. So that's where you should think about the security. Similarly, on the physical layer, biometric access, I think you would have heard. So that is one of the applications to incorporate the security at the physical layer. Okay, AI is artificial intelligence, but in depth it is actually automation with intelligence. Automation comes with a lot of cost. So now what is happening is, in our company also, everybody should use various tools. I think Claude you would have heard, Claude, Gemini. So we should use it to make our assignments, our deliverables very fast. How one should use? I think they will charge based on the tokens, right? But there is a concern when there are some people, okay, even in our company, who are rigid to not use those systems. Have you heard the era from your father, like when the banks were introduced with the computer? The people who didn't use or didn't learn how to use the computer, they were kept aside. Okay, they didn't take the success ladder as soon as possible. So in the similar way, this is the era where each and every person should know AI to get to the next level of their career succession. I know it is disruptive, but that's the only way to go ahead. Yeah, how do we learn? We should learn the subjects which we skipped, right? Linear algebra, calculus, and these are the basic mathematics which we should learn. And AI is actually nothing but mathematics, nothing else. So there is a concept called gradient descent. So we will not understand if we don't know calculus. So we should learn the mathematics in an applied aspect way so that we can appreciate the AI concept what we learn. So how beautifully the calculus is applied in understanding or training the agent or the model. And there are two distinctions, a subtle distinction: AI models and LLMs. There are models like reinforcement learning, DQN, which are used to invent or to automate the solution, incorporate the AI into the existing solution and make it faster. And there is a sector called LLM. There you have a provision to introduce models. At the same time, you can use the existing GPT models, which ChatGPT has named it, right? So there are different distinction. LLMs will help you to build agentic AI internally, whereas AI models, it will help you to build a single vertical of solution with incorporated your own AI models. And how do you learn? The base is reinforcement learning and unsupervised and supervised learnings. So you should understand those basic models by giving a cover with the mathematics, which I showed, those subjects. And sorry, this presentation will look like I'm against AI. No, I'm not. But this is a need of time. We have completely stopped reading the printed notebooks, right? And in doing so, we are losing the track of where we were 5 days back and where we are right now. So that's how we studied when we were in college. and this you should understand, like any assignment, whenever somebody cast on you, I know 90 to 95% of the students will use the AI, but where is the creativity, right? You should honor the creativity and then do the assignment, and this is happening in lot of institutions, and this will end up in killing the creativity. So keep this in mind. I'm not against AI. I repeat, this will happen one fine day if internet gets shuts, right? Without LLMs, we don't know what to do next, right? This will happen. So what our kids will do, they are one step ahead. Nowadays the kids have lost their brain to use their own brains. They just use the mobile phone, enter the chat GPT and ask the instructions what to do next. And this is actually just a statement, but there is a huge research going on. What will be the neural network of our next upcoming offspring after the heavy usage of AI models, right? So if their IQ is too low, then there is no point. That movie you have seen, no, Rajnikant, Robot, that will happen soon. Okay, the gist is very simple. We need to understand the system end to end, the architecture. Just working on the superficial assignment, it will not work out. We need to understand end to end architecture. You cultivate this habit now only, so that it will help when you pass out and join some tech giants. And last two sentences are, as I was telling, you should be ready to read books, and you should be ready to read the PDFs. And these two sentences, right, with and without AI, will keep you solid, even though there are no resources. And if there are resources, then also you are going to survive. Thank you. You can reach me to this email.
Thank you very much, sir, for your informative and engaging keynote session. And your insights have certainly added significant value to this technical and academic dimensions of ICDSC NC 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, with this, we conclude the inaugural and keynote sessions of Second International Conference on Distributed Systems, Computer Networks and Cybersecurity, IEC DSC NC 2026. And once again, thank all our distinguished speakers, dignitaries, authors, researchers, faculty members, students, delegates, and participants for being part of this important academic gathering. I encourage all participants to actively engage in the forthcoming technical sessions, exchange ideas, interact with fellow researchers, and make the most of this conference. Let this conference be a platform for knowledge sharing, collaboration, innovation, and meaningful research outcomes. Thank you all for your valuable presence and participation. Have a wonderful and intellectually enriched conference. And now we have a break to refresh and refill. And the lunch has been arranged in room number 010, third floor. It has been arranged on third floor. And the session will be resumed sharp at 2 o'clock at the respective allotted classrooms. I repeat, the session will be resumed sharp at 2 o'clock at the respective allotted classrooms. Once again, thank you for your participation. I wish you all